All right, guys, it's Yoshi Shiraki with the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, also known as UV-RIA. And I'm excited because I've got a friend of mine who I'm interviewing today who's speaking at the next UV-RIA. And I've got some good questions that I want to ask Luke that I think you guys are going to want to hear the answers to. So on that note, I'm going to dive right in. Luke, thank you again for joining me today, and thank you for speaking at the UV-RIA on Thursday. I'm not sure exactly what Thursday it is, the 20-something. I probably should have known that, but we'll have the date for everybody on the description of this video. But if you don't mind sharing with me now what you're going to be sharing with all of us on the night of UV-RIA that is going to be, why are people not going to want to miss what you're going to share with us?
Sure. Thanks, Yoshi. I appreciate it. And I'm actually really excited to speak on one of these Thursdays.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share 5 things that I learned from 2016 to incorporate for 2017 as an investor.
Awesome.
So it's going to be amazing. So I work with a company that does tons of flips, and I learned so much last year that has improved our company for this year that you are definitely not going to want to miss it. If you're flipping houses, I've got some great stuff to share.
Very cool. Well, on that note, do you mind giving me, sharing with us one nugget right now?
Yeah. So last year, just as a frame of reference, we flipped 38 houses in 3 different states, and we wholesaled 213. So,
whoa.
Yeah. As far as like I wrote down a couple examples of some stuff. There's things that you need to consider when you're flipping a house that you aren't so obvious, that you might not have learned in, going to the RIA groups or some of your coaching stuff that, realistically, we only learned from being in the trenches and doing so many houses last year. So going to be some good stuff, some things to be aware of, to know when you're buying houses to flip.
Very cool. 213, did you say, wholesales?
Yeah.
Amazing. And 38 fix and flips.
That's correct. Yeah.
And
crazy.
And you mentioned this, and I happen to know this, but for the people that are watching this, you flip all over the country, not just here in Utah, right? So, do you mind just sharing out of those 238 or 213 wholesales, how many were here in Utah versus out of state?
It breaks down to be almost a third. So we're in 3 different states. So it's about a third. So I'm not quick at math. If somebody else is, they can figure it out.
Okay. And then just out of curiosity, what are those states, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so it's Albuquerque, New Mexico, Utah, which is, the 5 major counties, which is Salt Lake, Utah, Tooele, Davis, and Weber. And then in Indianapolis, Indiana, and some surrounding suburbs.
Very cool. And out of the 38 fix and flips, how many were out of state? Were those here in Utah locally, or were some out of state as well?
No, yeah, definitely. A lot of them were out of state, and that's where a lot of the learning came in from last year was how to manage fix and flips out of state, and using different contractors and subcontractors. Learning what people like and don't like as far as buyers. So again, I'd probably say it was about an equal thirds.
Okay. Look, would you say, I know a lot of the local real estate investors, you know a lot of the local real estate investors, would you say anybody is doing more than 213 wholesales in a year? You guys have to be the top dog in Utah, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I hope so. I've heard of one other company that flips quite a few, but I heard that they only do about 150 a year. So I think we are, and I think we kind of pride ourselves in that a little bit too. So yeah.
Very cool. So, for anybody who's watching this, you do not want to miss UV-RIA night to hear Luke. I'm going to be there for sure, taking tons of notes and learning from Luke myself. Luke, what does the average day of Luke walk-ins look like? 213 wholesale deals in a year, 38 flips all over the country. What does your average day look like?
Well, if you can imagine, we don't do it all by ourselves. We have a lot of help, obviously. So one of the key takeaways that I learned last year was to focus. And I think we learned that as a company. So I was doing 5 to 6 different things last year, and we realized, well, look, if I could focus on 1 or 2 things, So I primarily focus on project management and construction management. Um, so I do a lot of talking with contractors, subcontractors, schedules, um, making sure budgets are in line, choosing materials, meeting new contractors. We're always doing that. But when I saw this question, I actually wanted to say I have 4 kids with a fifth one on the way, and a lot of my day, like in the mornings, is like wake up, deal with the kids, be crazy for an hour or two, and then go to work and do that crazy stuff, and then come home and be crazy with the kids again.
Well, congratulations on the fifth kid coming. That's exciting. Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Yeah, we just found out yesterday it's going to be a boy, and so we're going to have 4 boys and 1 girl.
Wow.
We have wild childs, so we're in for it.
You got
We're
a
in
name?
for it.
Do you have a name?
No, we just found out yesterday. No.
Okay.
I don't know yet. We'll be thinking about it. Maybe on that when I present, we'll have a name picked out by then.
Okay, excellent. Well, last question, Luke. Thank you again for joining me. I want to be respectful of your time. What does Luke Watkins like to do for fun besides obviously do tons of deals?
Well, you know because we're friends, but I've been into running lately. I was going for a full marathon last year, and I didn't quite make it. I did a half, but I am signed up for a full marathon this year. So I like to run. I like to work out. I work out 3 or 4 times a week. I like the Utah Jazz. We went to a game last night with my daughter. Yeah, that's some of the things. I love to read. I'm an avid learner. Tons of books. So I'd say that's what I probably like to do.
Very cool. Very cool. I just had lunch with Craig Bolerjack a week ago. So
Nice.
yeah. Oh, well, very cool. Excellent. Well, Luke, I'm excited to learn from you. I mean, really excited. I love learning. That's one of my favorite things. But to learn from somebody who's dominating the real estate investing market the way you guys are, I'm going to be there front row and center taking tons of notes. Thank you again for speaking on UV REIA Night, and thank you again for sharing some time with me to go over these questions. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm stoked, man. Can't wait. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will see you then on UV REIA Night as well as everybody else. If you guys are watching this video, it's $15. Unless you are a member, then it's completely free to come to all our UV REIA meetings, and I think you guys will love it. There's a lot of great content from educators like Luke Watkins, which I will definitely be there to listen to. So on that note, thank you, everybody.